Welcome to Leader Lifestyle Hub. As we have set the target of completing 200 book summaries entire year, here comes the book number 174. The name of the book that we have today is Hyper Learning. Without any delay, let us start our journey of book summary, where we can see the top 3 lessons and target audience of this book. It is also one of the entrepreneurship or business related book. Let us see the target audience of this book. Hyper Learning, written by Edward D. Hess. Target audience: the 57-year-old executive that does not want to get left in the dust as their market changes. The 23-year-old who is thinking about how they can stay competitive and sharp as the world advances. And anyone who wants to feel better about the speed at which our world is transforming. Let us see the small synopsis. Hyperlearning shows how people and companies can adapt in the rapidly changing world we live in today, explaining how a growth mindset, collaboration, and losing your ego will build your confidence that you can stay relevant and competitive as the world around you accelerates. Let us listen from the Edward D. Hess himself. Hyperlearning is a continual learning, unlearning, and relearning. If you are born thousands of years ago, you had been part of the humanity's move from the rainforest to the savanna. A lot harder than working with a computer screen, isn't it? The thousands of years ago, there is no computer, no mobile, nothing. Lucky for us, those early humans adapted and survived, and Homo sapiens endured. Today, we face another problem that requires a learning leap as significant as that first one. As technology advances faster than a cheetah chasing its prey, your job is at risk of being taken over by machines. If you and I want to flourish in this rapidly changing world, we have got to expand our minds and abilities. We must become hyper learners. So what should we do? We must become hyper learners. This is what Edward Hess book Hyper Learning, How to Adapt to the Speed of Change will show you how to do. In it, you will discover how your lifestyle and ego affect how you learn. You will also see how your companies can adopt a hyper learning attitude to survive and thrive. Let us see the top 3 lessons. These are the 3 most memorable lessons I got out of this book. To become a hyper learner, you must first change the mindset. You must first change your mindset. Improving your behavior is the next step in becoming a hyper learner. And there are 4 pillars on which a hyper learning business stands. Ready to learn how to stay adaptable as the world changes rapidly? Let us go. Let's get started in dig deeping of every lesson. Lesson number 1. Change your mindset to become a hyper learner. The first step becoming a hyper learner is to quiet your ego. This begins with the letting go of the titles, labels, and identities you have. Instead, take a more curious, teachable attitude toward everything that happens to you. An even better way of doing this is through meditation, which is also vital to quieting your busy mind to learn more efficiently. The many benefits of meditation in all aspects of life are clear, especially from the dozens of the books about it. To practice it, you need to focus on your breath. Take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale. Just focus on your breath and redirect your thoughts when they wander. Check out our summary of Unplugged to learn more about meditation's power and how to do it. Quieting your ego and busy mind with the meditation will set you up for improving your mindset, which is next part of becoming a hyper learner. There are two types of mindsets you can have. One is fixed mindset, another one is a growth mindset. You might have heard about this long time, many times from many people. Let us see the small difference between fixed mindset and growth mindset. Fixed mindset, which is when you believe that intelligence is unchangeable. You think you are stuck where you are at. Whereas a growth mindset involves the truth that you can improve your mind, intelligence, attitude, and everything else about you. This is the mindset of the hyper learners. Carol Dweck is the psychologist and Stanford professor who pioneered the science of mindset, and you can learn more from her book about it. The other mindset to adapt is what the author calls new smart mindset. New smart mindset is the another mindset. You can get it by changing your idea of what it means to be smart. Focus on innovation and creativity instead of just book smarts, grades, and test scores. So we have been chasing the scores, cards, grades in our school days. Now let us change that mindset to the new smart mindset, which is nothing but focus on innovation and more creativity. Let us move on to the lesson number 2. Becoming a hyper learner will require you to improve your behavior. The next step is in hyper learning is to change your actions. Simply believing in growth is not enough. Simply belief don't work. You actually have to work to make it happen. And this means even the details like your mannerisms, the words that you use. Start by looking at the typical behaviors of hyper learners. These include working well with others, being teachable, embracing uncertainty, and being open-minded, to name a few. Means when you learn from the hyper learners, you will observe few qualities like embracing uncertainty or being open-minded, how they are being open-minded, how they work well with others. To implement these actions as part of your behavior change means you have to get as specific as possible. Say you want to start by improving your collaboration skills. What does someone who works well with others do? You could say they are a good listener, but you need to go deeper. What makes sense or what makes someone a good listener? Looking into the answer to this question, we can see that it means not interrupting others while others are talking, being fully engaged, and asking questions to make sure they understand what they are telling. To go even deeper of the same question, identify what the ideal collaborator does not do. Maybe you know of some examples in your office or in your home that can teach you how not to do in it right. Means sometimes it is better to learn with the help of don'ts instead of do's. It's easy to see how bad they are at teamwork and the things they do make them that way. So you can do the opposite to become what you want to be. So even if you don't want to do some other techniques like how bad listener is, then you can automatically get what a good listener is. So becoming a hyper learner will require you to improve your behavior and learn from the already became hyper learners. Let us move on to the lesson number 3. To help your business take advantage of hyper learning, you must follow 4 keys. Let us see what are the 4 keys. If you own your business and are not willing to change with the times, you will fail. Just look at what happened to the Blockbuster and Kodak. Those who stick to old days get left behind, and those that innovate soar higher than anyone thought possible. Traditional workplaces are plagued with competition, fear, and top down leadership. None of these are effective for the ways the world is advancing. So, that workplaces are filled with competition, fear, and top down leadership. These are not effective in the current world, which is moving rapidly. They don't encourage creativity and learning. They instead stifle innovation and all the chances for growth that it can bring. It would be best if you had a new outlook on business, and it starts with these four principles. First one, adopt an idea of meritocracy. Google already does this, and it's a large part of why they are so successful. They adapt the best ideas regardless of where those ideas comes from. They listen from even the low level employees or high level employees. That doesn't matter ideas where it come from, but they implement the ideas which collected from the people. Adapt an idea of meritocracy. So this is the first idea, principle. Second principle that we have today is be positive. According to a research by Barbara Fredrickson and Alice Eisen, we can boost our mental capabilities with positive emotions. That means you and your team will perform better when you look at the on the bright side and worse when you don't. Means it will perform better when you think on bright side. It will perform poor when you don't think on the bright side. So be positive in your business outlook. And the third principle that you need to do is create an atmosphere of psychological safety. This means having a culture where employees are not afraid to express themselves. They need to feel safe from unmerited timing or unmerited firing, missing a promotion, or being ostracized for any idea or feeling. This will give them the courage to innovate and help you get to the next level. Support an attitude of self-determination is the final one. So, support an attitude of self-determination, which means helping people learn to be proactive about seeking challenges and growing their skills. Let people feel that they are in control of their work, and their productivity, happiness, and engagement will naturally skyrocket to levels you never thought possible. So these are the four principles of business outlook. Let me repeat it. Adapt an idea of meritocracy, be positive, create an atmosphere of psychological safety, and the fourth one is support an attitude of self-determination. When it comes down to it, you need to be good to people if you want to get succeed. This is all about the top 3 lessons of book Hyperlearning. Let me repeat the quotation. Hyperlearning is continual learning, unlearning, and relearning. Let me repeat the top 3 lessons. To become a hyperlearner, you need to change your mindset to a new smart mindset, which is far above the growth mindset. And the second lesson we have seen is improving your behavior is the next step in becoming a hyper learner. How to do that? By focusing on your breath, and we have seen some other techniques in improving the behavior. And where we have seen the 4 pillars of hyper learning business stance, which is nothing but adapt an idea of meritocracy, be positive, create an atmosphere, support an attitude. These are the 4 principles and 3 lessons from Edward D. Hess. See you in another book summary tomorrow. Until then, stay connected, keep progressing, and share your lessons in the comments below. Do like,